We've been hard at work revising our MMCX Connections, and it's finally time to reveal 2 new Dragon cables. After much anticipation, we're excited to announce the relaunch of our Dragon cables with MMCX Connections. We've crafted custom fits for your favorite Astell&Kern, Campfire audio, Meze audio, Sennheiser, and Shure IEMs. I've got the mastermind behind all of our Dragon audio cables here with me today, Drew Baird, PE, owner and founder of Moon Audio. Now Drew, tell me, why did you decide on a revamp of MMCX Connections and what's new?
Well, the MMCX is one of the most popular used connections on the market. While I prefer alternatives, we are continually being asked by our customers to bring this connection back. So that's what we're doing. We've improved it, and we're going to talk about some of those improvements in a second.
Great. So our MMCX IEM cables are available in a silver and bronze dragon. So what can listeners expect to hear from the silver and bronze dragon sound signatures?
So we're continuing to use our UPOCC silver conductors and copper conductors. And so for the silver dragon, I would say that this lends to more detail and resolution, tighter and punchier control of the bass frequencies. So for IEMs that are a little bloated and too thick sounding, this is really going to help and really tighten them up to make them sound like you're at a concert and you're hearing that kick drum, right? So then we've also got the Bronze Dragon, which is our UPOCC copper cable. So this is going to add musicality, warmth, a fuller bottom end, more bass for like people that listen to EDM, rap, R&B, anything that's toe tapping and fun.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about what went into the redesign of this. Any new kind of features?
With the initial designs, the biggest problem essentially with the MMCX is that there is a very small pin inside here, and we'll show up a close-up later. And essentially, when you detach your cable, if you don't pull that cable straight out, the connector straight out, and you bend it sideways to either direction, what you can end up doing is breaking that center pin. And essentially your IEM now is totally ruined. It doesn't damage the cable side, but it damages this. The other issue that happens is when you pull out the connector, sometimes there's a locking ring on the connector on the cable. This gets compressed over time. So we've worked at strengthening and making that a lot harder so it's resilient, so it doesn't get compressed and cause that issue. So with the center pin issue that I talked about, we've come up with a tool, and other companies are using this tool, so we didn't create the design, but we're gonna have our own with a Dragon logo on it. We're gonna include this tool with every purchase of any of these IEM cables.
Nice.
And so when you connect in this cable as so now, so I don't have to worry about bending it or breaking it when I pull it out, this tool goes in here and it's like a set of chopsticks, and you just pull it out, right? So this prevents you from damaging your IEM, which is probably the biggest issue we saw with the original designs of MMCX. MMCX is not my favorite connector. It really wasn't designed for audio applications, but it exists in so many brands so that we just kept working and working harder to make a better, more resilient connector, as well as you'll also notice now that the connector has a recess on it. And so now flush mount MMCX cables, aftermarket cables, won't work with, like, for example, the Sennheiser IE900s we have here and the IE600s. So now it's recessed and it snaps in there and it works perfectly. The great thing about the design of Sennheiser's female socket with that recess, you can't bend it back and forth. So when you remove the cable, you can't break it. So in this one, you're just gonna pull it out. You don't have to worry about breaking it, and you really don't have to use the tool, but you can use the tool as well, so.
And is there anything new with the cable that's good for eyeglass wearers?
Yeah, so we've done away with the memory wire and the tubing that went over it. The memory wire over time can become, especially for eyeglass wearers, a little bit of annoyance behind the ear, right? You've got already your hook from your eyeglasses here, and now you've got this other metal hook as well. And sometimes, you know, after many years of abuse and use, that memory wire can stick out of the tubing, and sometimes it'll nick you on your skin. Or if you're constantly working the cable to make it loop around your ear, you can break that memory wire over time. So what we're doing now is we're using a formable, flexible tubing, and the final design is going to actually be clear. We've got black here. The first run was done in black. The next one's going to be in a little bit of a thicker, more moldable, pliable, translucent tubing. And so it's going to help with comfort, and especially with eyeglass wearers, because we've reduced how much thickness there is here on the loop.
That's great, because there's nothing worse than putting on your glasses and getting that annoying cord wrapped around the back of your ear, and you can't just get comfortable with it. I want to take a moment to mention the IEM models that are compatible with our MMCX connections, starting with Astell&Kern IEMs. The Pathfinder and AK01 IEMs are the compatible Astell&Kern models. Our MMCX connections are compatible with almost every Campfire audio IEM, and the list is so long that we'll showcase it on the screen, as well as link our blog below, which has the entire IEM list. Just to label off a few, our connections are compatible with Campfire's Budget Legacy line, 2020 Refresh line, previous lineup from earlier this year, custom IEMs, and new release lineup. Meze Audio's Advar, Ripenta, and Solo IEMs are compatible with our MMCX connections, as well as Sennheiser's IE200, IE300, IE600, and IE900 IEMs. Lastly, our connections are compatible with the following Shure IEMs: the SE215, SE315, SE425, SE535, SE846, Aonic 4, and Aonic 5 IEMs. If you have any questions about compatibility, don't hesitate to reach out to us and we'll answer any questions that you might have.
As always, we're custom everything, so we've got a whole host of connectors for your IEM cables. You'll see here we've got the Moon Audio 4.4, we've got the Moon Audio 2.2, these are both balanced connections, and then we've got the single-ended connection 3.5. These are only 3 of the many choices you have to make sure that you've got the proper connection for all your portable devices.
Now that we know what IEMs our connections support, how do you safely connect and disconnect the MMCX connection to your IEMs?
So this is one of the primary reasons for the discontinuation of our previous MMCX connection. Users did not have an easy way to remove the cable from the IEMs. If you did not pull the cable out perfectly, you could very well damage the slender pin in the female MMCX connection, thus destroying the IEM, as most manufacturers would not fix the IEM for you. We will be shortly including a special MMCX removal tool, which I showed you earlier. This makes it so easy to change the cable and prevent damaging your IEMs. So essentially, and one thing I forgot to allude to earlier, is we also angled the connector now at a 45-degree angle, and this is also to improve comfort. So when connecting, obviously you're going to want to connect it straight in. You don't want to do it at an angle. Just push it in, it's going to pop. You're going to hear that lock. Did you hear that? Right? And so to disconnect, again, don't bend it. You always want to pull it straight out, and this tool is going to make it so much easier because it's essentially like a pair of chopsticks. Insert on each side and pop it out.
Wow.
There's no way you're going to break your IEM this way. This protects you from damaging, and hope this makes things a lot easier for all of you guys out there.
These 2 cables are great additions to our Dragon cable family, and we're pleased to be able to finally offer them to Moon Audio customers. Check out the blogs linked in the description below to learn more about the cables and to purchase yours today. As always, hit that bell and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any recent uploads.
Thanks so much for watching.